Hey everyone, it's Johnny, and in this video I'm going to be using this UV resin kit that was kindly sent to me by Let's Resin. I hope you enjoy the video and thank you for watching. This kit comes with a UV light, 200 grams of UV resin, a silicone mat, and 2 silicone mixing pots and a silicone tool. So here I'm starting out by drawing out 2 long shapes that I'm going to use to make a whimsical heart shape. Then I'm going to cover it with a silicone piece so that I can sculpt out the shapes with UV resin. Upon using the UV light from the kit, I was really happy with how small it is. Normally I use this huge bulky one that takes up so much space on my desk, so it's awesome to be able to move this one around easily without clearing an entire space or knocking things over. And here I'm using my cabochon mold to make 2 cabochons so that I can make some mushrooms. I've made them in 2 previous videos and I really love how they turned out, so I'm adding them to this piece as well. And after curing, I placed the UV light underneath to cure the underside. To make one of the mushrooms larger, I placed the cabochon on the mat and covered it with a few layers of UV resin until I was happy with the size. Off camera, I sanded down any obnoxious bumps, then brushed on some more UV resin. So normally with my mushroom pieces, I go for the classic spotted look, but here I went with a 3D swirl design instead. Then I used my acrylic paint pens and my FolkArt ColorShift paints to paint the mushroom design. Here I'm painting the 2 pieces that I'll be using to make the heart shape. This is actually the second pair I made since I wasn't really happy with how I painted the original pieces, though I did still use them in the final piece. Next, I made the stems for the mushrooms. Normally, I use jewelry wire, but that method, while cool, uses up so much wire, so I decided to sculpt the stems with aluminum foil and then brush UV resin over them. Then I painted them. For the wooden base piece, I decided to use this warped checker design paper. Usually I prefer to draw and design everything myself in my pieces, but I've had this paper for a while and I thought it was perfect for this project. And I just traced and cut out the paper piece and used Mod Podge to stick it onto the wooden base and seal it in as well. Then I painted the rest of the base black. So usually when attaching pieces together with UV resin, I do it before any kind of painting or Mod Podging. I find that if I paint and Mod Podge beforehand and then try and stick UV resin to that, it's only sticking to a thin paint layer and will easily peel off with the paint if I bump it or whatever. In this case though, I needed to paint and Mod Podge first since all of the other resin pieces are going on top of the checker design. So to avoid any annoying peeling, I brushed on some UV resin over the entire base to create a solid, sturdy layer to attach the rest of the pieces. Next, I'm using my heat gun to bend the two long pieces into a whimsical offset heart shape. Once the pieces were shaped to my liking, I attached them to the base. But after staring at it for a while, it looked so plain. So I decided to fill the heart shape with some blue fireglass pieces using UV resin. For the final steps, I attached the mushrooms to the base piece And then I found this glittery foam heart piece that I've had for like ever. I think it's from Dollar Tree. And I covered it with UV resin on both sides and added it to the piece. Then it was done. Okay, I really loved making this. I was a little out of my comfort zone using the checker paper and the foam heart instead of using my own designs, but I loved the end result. And I just want to say I'm really grateful to Let's Resin for sending me this kit to try out. It was really awesome to get to collaborate with them. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next one.